welcome back to my channel. My name is Cami. Today we're going to go over the finale of The Acolyte. And how does one even go over this disastrous show? This has absolutely been the worst episode for me, hands down. So let's get into this review. We start out the episode with Osha, who is gagging and choking while having Cameo's helmet on. Apparently the dark side of the Force has overtaken her a little too much.
I can't breathe in this thing!
And Cameo has to come over to help her with his black eyes, a la the Witch's Coven. We go to Sol and May, who are on the ship still, and he's just confessed. They kind of have this childish back and forth, like, well, you killed my mother, and then he's like, well, but you set the place on fire.
Yeah. I know you are, but what am I?
I know you are, but what am I?
I don't understand. This man has been waiting how many episodes to really give a heartfelt conversation, and then they're kind of bantering. She gets Pip and stabs him in the chest so she can make an escape. And we have a cool little asteroid system that they go through. I do really like this scene visually. I think it was pretty cool and dynamic. I like the look of it a lot. Then we get a totally oddball moment where the beaver comes over and completely sabotages Sol. I'm not sure why he's doing this, but he is ripping wires and trying to get them to crash because he's rooting for May now. And I guess he doesn't care about his own life. Yeah, I mean, that's the way he does things. It sends them spiraling exactly where they wanted to go, which is Brendock. We jump back to Cameo, and Osha has this strong demeanor now. She's taken the charge. She's like, you're coming with me. So they head to Brendock as well. Go figure. And he offers to train her, but she quickly refuses. We then get a nice shot of Darth Plagueis. I was actually watching Star Wars Theory Live, and I was like, ooh, he's about to be real mad about this. I completely agree. We don't need Darth Plagueis in here. I hope there is no second season because I do not want to associate his backstory with these two girls. Back to Vernestra, who is meeting with one of the Senate members who wants to confront her and his true feelings about the Jedi, that they're a sneaky, underhanded cult. He's pretty accurate with the way this show winds up. Accurate. Then we get to the planet where Sol has landed to hunt down May. They get into the Witch's Coven fortress, everybody all at once. We have two simultaneous scenes where May and Osha are reuniting in their old room. And Cameo is going after Sol, so we have a fight with them. I did like this fight visually. I like the setting so much. The old, worn down Witch's Coven was very cool. I was like, man, why couldn't they have done this in an earlier episode? May finally tells Osha, hey, Sol is the one who killed our mother, and she could have said this in episode 5, but they didn't do that because we, the viewer, didn't know yet. She defends Sol, and they have a little scarfuffle themselves. We get a little distraction for May as she heads down to the courtyard. May quickly disables Sol, even though Cameo wasn't able to, and she gets him to confess once more that he killed their mother. Oh, what do you know? Osha's in the background and overhears and is shocked and hurt, rightfully so. But then she goes to the extreme and completely turns to the dark side. Sol is apologizing and trying to explain, and right before he says, I love you, she starts choking him. Just like Anakin, just like Darth Vader. She didn't warrant this kind of power this soon. The woman couldn't even force pull a can or something to her when she needed to. She has nowhere near the journey or the training to go right into chokeholding. Also, it's a really vicious thing to do, but Sol encourages her, it's okay, you can kill me, I deserve it. She goes ahead and finishes him off. Vernestra has landed on the planet, and they both pick up on each other. My old Padawan, you're here. We get Vernestra coming into the courtyard, finding Sol, and sending all of her Jedi off to set a 5-click perimeter, led by the beaver, because none of them can use the Force. We then cut to the yellow tree that the girls played at when they were a child, and they have a tear-filled moment. They apologize to each other. Here is our Frozen moment that Leslie Headland was inspired by. Cameo quickly dampers the moment and says, hey, if I can find you, the Jedi can as well. But we all know that Basil's the one who's really finding them. They're like, well, what do we do? So Cameo's like, well, you know, I could wipe your memory, and then you and I can go off and train.
What do you want, Osha?
And that's a really great question, because Osha's been very nondescript this whole season. So she wants to be trained and become a Sith. Her sister's like, I'm not going to get in the way of your destiny again. Go do what you were meant to do and become a dark Sith Lord. So yeah, they wipe her memory and head off on their way. Go to my most hated part of this entire show and this entire series. Vernestra is with May and is like, wow, you don't remember anything, do you? Well, let me tell you what happened. The man that killed your mother was a kind, compassionate, brilliant man. And he was my friend too. And we cut to her in front of the Senate, and she is lying about what really happened, saying when the secret of what happened was going to come out, Sol went around and killed Andorra, Torben, Kilnaka, just to keep this secret a secret. And then he kills himself. So all that shouldn't make sense to them at all, but that doesn't matter. Sol's the one who killed everybody. I guess he killed everyone in the forest that day. Vernestra just wants to protect May now. I find it absolutely gross that she went to his dead body and was like, I'm sorry, my friend. Sol is the only character this whole time who had a moral compass and was really conflicted, wanted love, wanted a pattern, wanted to do the right thing, and then this man is being wiped through the mud by an evil Jedi. It's awful. I was literally horrified by this, but because this is what the show creators want to make the Jedi out to be. We get Cameo and Osha holding hands as the sun sets. They decide to destroy one more thing. Vernestra walks into Master Yoda, and we cut on his cute little head. This either means that she told Yoda the truth and Yoda is an actual slime ball, or he is one of the worst Jedi ever because he couldn't pick up on the truth from Vernestra. Really tuning into what this is actually saying to us, and it is a message of hate and not hope. And you know, it could have been one where mercy was shown. Giving mercy and grace and love to someone is one of the most beautiful things we can do for them and ourselves. But Osha chose to kill Sol instead, and Vernestra chose to ruin his name and be deceitful. Why would we want to watch this? Like to give a few honorable mentions to the show. Sol, he learned English just to play this part, and I think that is so remarkable. He's a fantastic actor. I commend him, and I think the guy who played Cameo, I don't know his name, but he did a great job with his character as well. And also Mother Anna Sayed thought she did a beautiful job. She's got a really dynamic and beautiful look. Yeah, these were my 3 best actors. Thanks so much for joining me on this crazy and funny journey. I'm glad we got to laugh in the past few episodes. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this episode and what you'd like to see next. I will be back next week for another video, non-Acolyte video. So I will see you guys there.